Hi everyone, today I'm reviewing WWE 35 Years of WrestleMania, brought to us by DK. This book just came out today actually, September 3rd, 2019, and it is retailing for $24.99 in the US. This book is actually an updated version of a previous book that they put out a few years ago. I believe it was 30 Years of WrestleMania. I have a copy of that book, but I got it autographed by the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. So I have not cracked that open for reading purposes in quite some time because obviously I want to make sure it stays in great condition, which is why I'm glad this is out, because I could actually read this thing without having to worry about damaging it. So let's take a look at 35 Years of WrestleMania. And speaking of the Heartbreak Kid, he offers the foreword in this book. So let's check it out. This is really cool. I like it, where on the inside of the book, you have all of the great WrestleMania logos from over the years. Pretty sweet. Title page. Here's the foreword by Shawn Michaels. Check it out. And the book is broken out into each and every single WrestleMania. So here are the contents. You can see you have all the WrestleManias, and in between you have additional sections such as Mr. WrestleMania, Hall of Fame, WrestleMania Axxess, Evolution of the King, The Streak, The Big Dog's Yard, and as with all of these DK books, the visual presentation is phenomenal. And there's a ton of text you're working with here. Rare photos, lots of great insight, thoughts from the individuals and superstars that were part of these very special events. You can see here also there's information about the specific events themselves, everything from the announcing team to the attendance to the matches that took place at specific WrestleMania. Of course, WrestleMania 3 is here in all its glory. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. WrestleMania 4, which I think is kind of an underappreciated one. I like the idea that they had a tournament for the WWE Championship all in one night. That's pretty damn cool. WrestleMania 7, the best part about that one for me is the Ultimate Warrior versus the Macho Man Randy Savage. And one of the most emotional matches, especially the ending with Miss Elizabeth. Just fantastic stuff. If you've never seen it, you gotta. WrestleMania 8, there's some classics there as well. This is probably my favorite photo. One of my favorite photos of all time. Because look at Flair. I mean, the fact that they're able to catch that moment, pretty damn cool. WrestleMania 9 at Caesar's Palace. Here are all the WWE Hall of Fame inductees, starting with Andre the Giant in 1993. You have all the other classes. I was at WrestleMania 30, so I got to see Warrior, Scott Hall, Jake the Snake, and everyone else that year get inducted. There's my buddy DDP. He got inducted a few years later. WrestleMania 10, the iconic ladder match between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. Cool stuff. WrestleMania 11, a lot of people consider that to be one of the worst. Tough year for the WWE. WrestleMania 12, 13, it's all here. Including one here in my hometown city, Philadelphia. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend that one, but hey, if it ever comes back here, I will be there. And Axxess. For anyone that's ever gone to WrestleMania, Axxess is one of the greatest parts. I mean, you get to meet all these superstars, you know, most of them for free. You get to see matches. I mean, you're getting autographs and photos. It's just phenomenal. So it's nice that they took a couple pages in this book and dedicated it to that. Hulk Hogan versus The Rock, one of the greatest matches of all time. The electricity really was in the air that night, and it was just amazing the way the crowd reacted to that. WrestleMania 19, Hogan was back, this time against Vince McMahon. And WrestleMania 20. You even got Chris Benoit in here. Evolution of the King. Obviously, this is all about Triple H and how he started off at WrestleMania 12 getting buried by the Ultimate Warrior, all the way up to modern day where he's now running the company. Go figure. His match with the Ultimate Warrior was like just a few seconds. It's pretty crazy if you go back and watch it now. Because it was the triumphant return of the Ultimate Warrior, so... And Warrior's not known for having really long matches, except for maybe Hogan and Savage. At WrestleMania 6 and WrestleMania 7, which were excellent. But for Triple H, they decided not to do that. You can see these are all the modern day WrestleManias. Bret Hart's return, that was really not good, that match. It really dragged on way too long because it was more of a street fight than anything. And obviously Vince can't wrestle too well. And Bret couldn't wrestle too well at that point either because of his stroke. So they really dragged it out. It was just a bunch of chair shots for way too long. WrestleMania 29. Then they have a section here all about the streak, which, as I mentioned earlier, I went to WrestleMania 30. So I saw the streak broken. I have to tell you that when that happened, everyone in the arena thought something went wrong. We thought, oh, they rang the bell too early for some reason, something went wrong. And we were waiting for an announcer to come on and say, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, but we have to restart the match. Well, that didn't happen. Undertaker actually did lose to Brock Lesnar. We were shocked. We didn't know what the heck happened. It was crazy. And speaking of that, here is the recap of WrestleMania 30. I'm thrilled that I decided to go to WrestleMania 30 because it wound up being one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. I mean, you had an excellent Hall of Fame. It was the Ultimate Warrior's final run in the WWE, including, and I went to all the events. So I was at Monday Night Raw, I was at the Hall of Fame, I was at WrestleMania, I got to witness it all. Thank God, because he passed away just a few days later. I got to see this amazing moment between Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Stone Cold. I got to see Daniel Bryan finally win the championship. I mean, it was just a night of highlights. I mean, yeah, the streak being broken was an awful experience, but as you can see from this guy's face, it was still an incredible, historic moment to be part of, even if I didn't agree with the outcome. And being in an arena with like 75,000 plus people is insane. I can't really describe it. It's just something you have to experience. I mean, we took over New Orleans, the fans, that night. When we left the arena, we're walking through the streets just going, yes, yes, yes. It was just an incredible moment. And I remember looking at the people who live there wondering, why are all these people yelling yes? Because they had no idea what the heck WrestleMania was or that it was in town. The next year, WrestleMania 31 was in California. Followed by WrestleMania 32 in Texas. To me, some of the greatest WrestleMania matches include, of course, the matches between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, which are excellent. Specifically, WrestleMania 25, which is probably the greatest WrestleMania match ever. I know some people say Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage, which is also excellent, but I would have to give it to that Shawn Michaels Undertaker match. But that's what makes being a wrestling fan fun, right? We can have these debates about what's the best. And each person is different. It depends on what you grew up with. And the cool thing is if you pick up this book, it's a great opportunity to relive those moments you remember or discover ones you never watched, and then go into WWE Network and check it out. Because all the Hall of Fames are on there, I believe. All the WrestleManias are absolutely on there. So you can relive these moments yourself. And it ends with WrestleMania 35 at MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, from this year, April 7th. 86,625 people. Here's a crazy story. So I got to watch WrestleMania 35 from Diamond Dallas Page's house down in Smyrna, which is pretty damn cool. And I was staying there that week with Jake the Snake Roberts. You got it. Jake came home the day of WrestleMania. I went to go see Kiss that night in Atlanta, so I didn't watch WrestleMania live, but I did watch it that week. And I hung out with Jake the Snake. DDP came by the house. Jake made me and him dinner one night. I got to visit Dallas's DDP Yoga Performance Center multiple times. It was a heck of a week. I mean, check it out on my blog. I believe the subject line is My Epic Week at the Accountability Crib. So check that out. It's the house where they filmed the resurrection of Jake the Snake. And there you have it. Let's take a look at the index, and for any of you wondering what's in this book. Right? And the last page of the index here. Cool. So that is 256 pages of a WrestleMania. As you can see here, retails $24.99, as I said earlier, in the US, $31.99 in Canada. Here are other books available from DK. Celebrate 35 years of explosive WrestleMania action. Relive the most exciting matches, celebrity appearances, and controversies in WWE's Showcase of the Immortals. WWE 35 Years of WrestleMania from DK. This book is a beauty. And if you're a fan of WWE, then heck, you're a fan of WrestleMania. And if you're looking for a great way to relive 35 years of this amazing event from start to finish, this is your ticket. And I guarantee you could probably get this book for a better price online, so check that out. I highly recommend that you pick it up. It's a great revised version of the previous book that DK put out, and it's a great way to celebrate any and all things WrestleMania. So thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.